Hey, thanks for slithering in. I am Symtherin. Welcome back to my channel and to another speed build in The Sims 4. Today is a very special build, part of a collab that I am excited to announce to be a part of. It is the Frosty Winter collab. This is being hosted over on Instagram by I Am Cowplant and Jen Loves to Build. And you may have seen some amazing builds already, because we started posting the 17th, so there's plenty of builds up already to take a look at, and I hope you guys check them out because I am blown away by everyone's take on this theme, and it was super fun. So with that said, I will have all of that information listed down in the description below with all of the participants, and check out the hashtag, which I believe, I don't have it up, but is hashtag Frosty Winter Collab. It'll be in the title, so you'll see it. But we are here in Copperdale. I don't know why I really chose Copperdale. Well, I guess I kind of know why. So, as you can see, I'm playing with some terrain tools and things here, because for a while now, I have had the itch to build like a house kind of sitting on a lake or a pond or something with stilt foundations like I'm doing here. So yeah, that's what we're doing, and I had a lot of fun trying to figure it out. I used to do terrain tools a ton, and then for a while I kind of stopped, but I'm trying to kind of get back into it a little more. So there's that, because I felt like I was kind of losing that skill a little bit. I was never like a pro. I should say that first and foremost, but I felt like I kind of understood how to use the tool, and then I kind of got tired of using the tool because sometimes it glitches and, you know, The Sims, those kinds of things. But here we are, and I'm actually really proud of this build, so, because of the terrain tools. But we're in Copperdale, which is the world that came with high school years. And I'm here because I really like the woodland backdrop. So you can kind of ignore like the fair and like the Ferris wheel and things that is on the other side of this build, because I really like the backdrop here. And I'm looking in the background now and I see like a couple lots here where I have unfinished builds that I kind of ignored forever. So that is fun. Just ignore those back there. But the shape of the build here is pretty much complete. This is pretty much it. And I thought it came out super cute. It's very cabiny, and I wasn't planning on building something this big. Let's just say that recently I sit down to build and I'm like, I'm just gonna do something small, and it'll be like maybe 1 or 2 bedrooms, and it's not going to be crazy big. And then, I don't know, recently I've just been pulling out these larger size builds. I actually have another one that I'm going to be sharing with you guys sometime next week. So stay tuned, hint, hint. But that is also a like large family home. This is a pretty large family home. It's not super large, I should say, actually. It's 3 bedrooms. So it's not gigantic, but for me, that's pretty gigantic. Anyway, we will talk about the interiors when we get there. Now we are landscaping and getting these like roofing details up. I had to keep re-adding the stilts to the foundation because I kept like making rooms on the inside, especially when I did the layout, and they kept like going away, and I was like, stop. But it is what it is. Yeah. Sorry, I'm a little tired this morning, so I'm getting woken up. Like, I'm trying to wake myself up. But anyway, we have plenty of coffee. The horse ranch pack really shone through with this build. Because I was going for like a cabin on a lake type feel, these wood swatches and like textures on these things are so good, especially the windows. So we have a lot of that. Here I am pulling out debug rocks from the high school years pack to kind of help blend in with the world. That's a fun tip for landscaping if you need one. Some unsolicited tip. always, well, you don't always have to do it, but I like to use items from the world's catalog if I can. It really helps blend in a build. So at least for landscaping, like you can mix and match too, but that's just my personal preference. And the debug items for landscaping are just always so much better than the regular catalog, and we get so many more options. So there's that. I also pull out some debug snow piles, which comes from Snow Escape. I think these fences come from that pack too, maybe? Nope, these are also from Horse Ranch. So I like this little fencing detail I put in some places of the build when I was landscaping. Let's just add a little bit of level and texture and interest, I guess. We also have some wood planks that lead up to the stairs and that then lead up into the house. So yeah, this is so much fun. We are not in winter yet, but, well, correct that. I am building in winter, but at some point I do add in the snow. And I think a lot of you can maybe relate. It kind of sucks building when there's actually snow on the ground, because then you don't really see, one, the plants, or like the roof pattern for one, like it's just all white. So so we waited for that, but I did want to make sure I built in winter so that the plants looked a little dead, because then I got the vibe right. But yeah, the exterior is really coming together. It's almost done. We're adding some details like these dormer, I think you call them, pieces. Those are also from Horse Ranch. But now we're gonna head into the interior. Overall, I would say that I am pretty happy with the interior and the floor plan that I went with. Fun story, I actually forgot a door to the bathroom on the first floor here, but that gets fixed pretty quickly as soon as I realize it. But I love this little nook for a nice little fireplace, because of course this is a build in the winter, and what wintry build does not have a fireplace? Okay, so there's that. I started here, and then when I started pulling out the couch, well, I guess this frame actually really helped. So this is a TV, but it's framed as like kind of to look like a piece of art, and that is from the Modern Lux kit. I mostly chose it because of the brown frame, but I felt like the artwork was pretty okay for like the type of build that we're doing here. And then pulling out a couch was difficult, but I pulled out this Discover University couch, and for some reason this yellow swatch was just like speaking to me. So that becomes the predominant color in this build. Lots of brown tones and yellows, and then like sprinkles of blue here and there, blues and pinks and stuff, because yellow and blue and pink and all that stuff, I really enjoy that color combo. So we've got that. We've got a little heater here from Snow Escape, and I want to make sure there were blankets and extra things to keep your Sims super cozy and toasty during the winter. Kind of speaking off of winter, I do have a playlist with just all winter builds. I did that for fall during those last fall season we had, and I actually really like doing that, so I made one for winter. So I don't know if it's worth it doing one for spring or summer, because I don't think I have too many like specifically summer and spring type builds, if that makes sense. So, but if you guys want to, I can go through my catalog and be like, oh, this one's good for spring, or this one's perfect for summer. Like, I bet there will be a lot of beach builds and Sulani builds and stuff in the summer playlist. But if you want to see any more cozy winter builds, definitely check out that playlist. I'll have it linked in the cards here or at the end of this video as well. But now, continuing with the living room, we are just adding plenty of clutter, a nice little turntable radio thing so that you can listen to your jams, some book clutter, and some plants. So all of my favorite things. I believe I also grabbed like a coat rack to put here by the door, another armchair, It's a pretty tiny living room, but I guess this whole entrance area is, you can count it as the living space. What else do I put here? I put a fish tank from Cats and Dogs, as well as I think a base game, a bookshelf with some clutter, and some shoes. Yeah, it looks like some shoes. But here I was like, I didn't want this to be a dining space or like anything of that nature because I knew I had a lot of space still on this bottom floor and I wanted a certain bump out in the build to be the dining space. So here I thought it would be a cool idea to put like a table with games and stuff on it, maybe puzzles. This is where Sims can pretty much come and play games. Like, you know, I put 4 chairs at first, but I felt like it was too clunky. But this is definitely something you can add. So it ends up with 2 chairs, but you can definitely like play around with that if you need it, if you do choose to use this build, which, by the way, here's the plug. This build is up on the gallery. My gallery ID is Symtherin. So same as it is here on YouTube and every other social media platform. So if you're looking for it, that's where it's at. It's also under the hashtag Frosty Winter collab. Anyway, we are picking out a rug and trying to figure this out. I didn't like that table. So the awful part about wanting to do games on a table is that you need the specific card tables to be able to do it, which is really awful. So here I pretty much do that, but I size down this little table and kind of merge it in. So it'll work. It should work, hopefully. I just realized the chairs aren't technically connected to that table though, so I don't know. But I put a little poof under here too to kind of hide that table. I could have sized it down with T.O.O.L and just made it invisible, but I wanted to give you guys the option to easily find it if you wanted to delete it and replace it, just in case it isn't actually functional, because I didn't test that part. But I thought adding a poof down there was also a good idea, because that also gives your Sims kind of the illusion that there's extra seating stored around, and I thought that was a cute idea. So here we are working on the dining area that I was just talking about. We, of course, had to pull out some of these yellow ruffled curtains. I just thought it was so cute. I don't know why. And a round dining table. I don't use round dining tables very often, but when I do, I absolutely love them, and I say, why don't I do this more? So hopefully we'll see. Maybe I'll be doing some more of those soon, now that it's in my head. But we also put some of the radiator type items that we got with the For Rent pack. I absolutely love that clutter item. I feel like it might be functional for heating, actually. You guys can maybe tell me if I'm wrong, because I'm not familiar, but I feel like I've heard that before. But now we're just cluttering this little space up. I think we pull out a divider. I think I get rid of this hutch, so it definitely doesn't stay. This one's really pretty, and I felt like it matched pretty well. However, I put it up against a different wall, so it's still in the build, but it's just not here. I don't know. I thought this little area was nice and cute. We put a little end table and I think that bird cage, which I was surprised we have like a little bird cage thing that came with For Rent. You'll see it in just a second when I pull it out. But we don't have birds in The Sims, but I remember having birds in Sims 2, I think. And my Sims always had a bird, but that's also because growing up, I kind of always had a bird. My dad really liked birds and fish, so it was pretty common to see those in my builds back in the day. As we finish this and head on to the kitchen and breakfast nook space, I do want to take this moment to apologize if I sound a little nasally today. I feel like I sound nasally, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't think I'm coming down with anything. I think it's just a case of allergies and being kind of sleepy, because life has been lifing. And I mean, I feel like I've been saying that for a while now, but it's been a long year so far, and we're only halfway through February, but we're gonna make it through. But I want to talk about this little breakfast nook. I thought it'd be cute to have, I don't know, like a little breakfast nook in this corner, because that is something I would love to have, with like little benches and a table and just somewhere that's nice to, I don't know, sit and like drink on your coffee and all that good stuff in the morning. So here, it's unfortunate benches don't work as dining tables, but I sized down 4 dining room chairs so that hopefully your Sims can use it. I've seen it work before. I should go and play test this. Actually, I think I will, and then I will re-upload it to the gallery with chairs if I have to. It'll just be what it is. I didn't know what to do with this wall, so I just put these cabinets just for extra storage. I imagine this house would need it. Maybe that's like a pantry and that's where they grab all the good snacks, you know? We all need those good snacks. Here we are working on the island and counters where the kitchen's gonna kind of wrap around. And I use these base game counters. They're pretty, I mean, basic to say the least, because they're base game. But I really like these. I feel like out of the base game cabinets and counters, these are the ones that get the most use. We do manage to get a dishwasher in here. We get a sink, we get a fridge and cabinets, and those wrap around and kind of overlap the windows a little bit, which isn't ideal, but I didn't want to get rid of the windows either, so we're just gonna leave it at that, and we can ignore those imperfections. But we get plenty of clutter in here. We got a hood. I believe I did hide. I always hide my smoke alarms, so you may never see them, but I hide them behind the cabinets because I wouldn't mind getting some better looking smoke alarms. And I know smoke alarms aren't supposed to be pretty, so I guess that's not really fair to the smoke alarms for me to be like, you're ugly, I'm gonna hide you, you're just functional. But I am pretty good about keeping those in and hiding them, so if your Sims start a fire, I shouldn't say if, I should say when your Sims start a fire, because we know it's gonna happen. Then you're all set and you're somewhat protected, and hopefully the firefighters get there before your Sims die. So here I am using these appliances as clutter, so they are not functional. Keep that in mind, because I do use the tool mod to kind of use a different cabinet, to be able to freely place these, because I hate that they just snap and they're like on the edge of things. But we do have a coffee maker, and yeah, right now we're just gathering up this clutter. There are a total of 3 bathrooms in this build that do not make it on camera. I actually did those at the end of recording this build, and I mean, I've said it before, I'll say it again, I don't, especially for large builds, I usually leave out the bathrooms and don't do that on camera, because they're usually pretty similar, and I want to make sure you guys see everything else instead of bathrooms. Especially this time, this build and this video is a bit of a long one. We're sitting around 30 minutes, so that's crazy. I hope you guys are cozy and comfy and you have snacks. I hope you have snacks. I want a snack. What are you snacking on? Let me know down in the comments below. So this kitchen is pretty much a wrap, and we are going to head into our first bedroom. The first bedroom we worked on is the parents' bedroom. So here we are, and of course we had to get a nice yellow swatch and lean into Horse Ranch a little more. The brown tones and stuff is just so cozy, and when I think of that, I think of Horse Ranch, because like I said, on the exterior, I just love the textures and the items, and I think it's probably one of my favorite packs currently. And I said that when it first came out, that this one, I'm going to get a lot of use out of this one. So hopefully you guys agree and you like it as well. But here in the parents' bedroom, we have their little yellow bed tucked in here. We have a nice exposed beam here, so I thought that was a fun little touch. We got a little fireplace and a dresser, a couple of dressers, I believe. But we also have an office space for the parents. So that's where if your Sims are working from home or just need to use a computer, that's where they'll do it. Both kids' rooms have their own desk and computers as well. They have like laptops. So, but we're going to talk about the kids' room in just a little bit because I have fun stories for that. Here's where the desk and office space are going to go. I grabbed this bookcase and I think another dresser ends up over here, so stay tuned for that. But now we're picking out a desk, and we put a little bit of clutter around here. Picking out a desk chair is always hard. I don't know how fancy I want to go or how, like, rolly I want to go, if that makes sense. Sometimes desks just don't have rolling chairs, you know, it's okay. Although I love mine. I'm swiveling in it now, so don't mind me. Anyway, we're gonna pull out some curtains and some desk clutter, which is like books, plants, and here's the other dresser from Seasons that I pulled, and we put some clutter on there as well. Of course, since I sized down the Seasons dresser because it was a little too big, I had to use the T.O.O.L mod to kind of, you know, elevate items that I put on there to kind of not be floating. But typically that's usually just fine. The dresser will still function. You don't need to have the T.O.O.L mod installed to download any builds used with T.O.O.L mod, so keep that in mind. But here we are working on the first bedroom. So I had some prompts for these bedrooms. I've talked before about how I typically do the same thing for bedrooms, or I feel like I do, at least kids' bedrooms. And this time I got the help from my boyfriend, and I said, look, I've got 2 bedrooms. They're not huge bedrooms, but I need some personalities or some ideas for how to decorate these bedrooms. I'm saying bedrooms a lot. Oh my god, that's crazy. Don't mind me. Anyway, so this first bedroom is for a probably preteen teen sim, and they love animals. They probably want to be a vet or some kind of rescue something, like, or they actually may already work like part-time or volunteer time at a pet rescue, and they're very like animal, they want to be like animal friend of the world, or what's that aspiration? There's an aspiration, but you know what I mean. But if it has 4 legs and fur, or 2 legs and feathers, and or whatever, then they love them. So that was the main inspiration for this bedroom. Now, what's funny was I still end up doing a blue and pink bedroom despite having 2 like prompts for these bedrooms. So once I finished them both, I looked at them, I said, oh my god, I did it again. So next time I'm also going to ask for like a color scheme next time I like ask my boyfriend for help. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully we get some more different vibes and things, but I really do like how this bedroom came out. The desk is a table, which I thought was fun. That's from Eco Lifestyle, I believe, and we clutter it up here. I also include a hamster cage because I figured if the sim loves animals, they would probably have their own in their room. So they have a fishbowl and a hamster cage that they take care of, and I didn't put any items for like dogs or cats in this build, but there's plenty of room to actually do that. So if that's something, if you do download this build and you want to add, then you can totally do that. There's plenty of space here. But now that we have like the general layout here, I'm just pulling out any pet stuff, really. If it has an animal on it, I want it in this room. And my first pet stuff definitely shines through here, and cats and dogs shines through here. This lamp, of course, had to make an appearance. This one's from the base game update when we got infants, so it's a super, super cute lamp. I really love it. I should use it more often because it's just too cute. But yeah, I toyed with these couches, but then I was like, no, let's get a hamster cage. And that's when we are going to pull that out. So I thought it was super fun and lots of activities, lots of activities here for this sim to do. And of course the frog chair. So that's super cute. But we're going to move on to the next one, and I'll tell you a little bit about the prompt I got for that. So here, my boyfriend said, what if this sim is like a builder? Or maybe they like to build in Minecraft, or they want to be in interior design or architecture, kind of like that route. So I don't keep this corkboard because the sim is just maybe on a younger kid side, maybe not quite preteen, but you know, around there, maybe 8 or 9, I'm imagining. So I don't know, it was super fun. So I went with these more colorful things while keeping in mind the activity of wanting to be a builder. So we have a couple of drafting tablets around and pictures of castles and other places in the Sims universe, like architecture wise, and I thought that was super fun. I think I want to play with that idea maybe a little more. I do put like these magazines, like maybe they love the interior design magazines and stuff, so lots of that made its way here from Dream Home Decorator. They got their own little music turntable here, which is super cool. So they can listen to their own music, and I put a TV here too. This is the only bedroom with a TV, and I imagine the sim just likes to watch like HGTV and home modeling, remodeling shows in that nature. So I think they're like, yes, I want my own TV, because maybe they don't always want to be downstairs, or maybe the rest of the family doesn't really care and doesn't really want to watch that stuff with them. At least maybe not all the time, because that's fair. Yeah, I want to watch more of those shows actually, because it's been a while, and occasionally when I watch stuff I'm like, yeah, I'm really into this. So I need to make that more of a thing in my life, hopefully soon. But thank you guys for watching. We are at the end of the video. Of course, we have a nice video tour for you and some screenshots, so I hope you stick around to check that out. But also don't forget to check out the description down below to see all the participants for the Frosty Winter collab. Thanks again to I Am Cowplant and Jen Loves to Build for inviting me to partake. I had a ton of fun, and yeah, I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye!